In the late 1990s, Dutch trance music underwent a massive physical expansion. Watch how this dark, densely packed underground warehouse transforms into a massive, pulsating open-air stadium. That visual tracks the genre's growth from a niche club subculture into a multi-billion-dollar global festival phenomenon. This is a photo of Armin van Buuren, one of the two preeminent architects of that booming industry. The other was Tiësto. Together, they established the record labels that governed electronic music for the next 2 decades. In fact, Tiësto provided vital early support to a young Armin, helping him secure his earliest live bookings and his first major mix compilation. This period of mutual support culminated around the year 2000. The two producers formally entered the studio together, creating collaborative projects under the aliases Alibi and Major League, and cross-pollinating their growing fan bases. Before they were framed by the public as bitter corporate rivals, these two producers were cooperative allies, building the foundational infrastructure of the Dutch scene together. But in 2003, the market dynamics shifted. The American production duo Gabriel and Dresden, seen here on the right, teamed up with vocalist Jess under the alias Motorcycle. They produced a slower, deeply emotive track called As the Rush Comes. According to persistent industry lore, Armin van Buuren's newly formed label aggressively outbid Tiësto's established empire for the rights to release it. Fans point to this exact moment as the genesis of a permanent fallout. The legend claims this high-stakes bidding war triggered a 20-year silent war, ending their collaborative relationship and all future joint studio projects. Online communities compile specific circumstantial observations to back this up. For instance, during a 2013 radio broadcast, Armin played Tiësto's classic track, Flight 643, but omitted Tiësto's name from the introduction. Observers also cite a distinct lack of modern digital interaction between the two as proof of bad blood. So we have to ask, did a corporate bidding war over a single trance anthem actually destroy the relationship between two of electronic music's biggest pioneers? Or is this entire narrative an illusion? The fan-generated rumor contains a primary flaw regarding how music was distributed in 2003. In independent dance music, hit tracks were rarely sold globally to a single record label. This map illustrates territorial licensing. Instead of signing a track globally, artists sold distribution rights to different regional labels. For As the Rush Comes, Positiva Records took the UK, Ultra Records secured North America, and Armada Music secured exclusive rights strictly for the Benelux region. Armada was co-founded by Armin van Buuren, and they needed to establish immediate cash flow. Securing the regional rights to this track allowed them to move 18,000 physical vinyl copies, a figure essential to the newly launched label's financial survival. Armada did not execute a hostile global takeover to spite Tiësto. They simply secured their own home territory to ensure their corporate viability in a competitive market. If Tiësto's label, Black Hole Recordings, wanted those regional rights, they didn't walk away empty-handed. Recognizing the star power of the track's vocalist, Jess, Tiësto signed her directly to an exclusive 4-album solo contract. This secured the exclusive artistic output of the genre's breakout star. Jess went on to generate 3 Billboard Top 20 hits and toured globally under the Black Hole banner. The technical reality of the track's production also points to a different conclusion. Tiësto actually obtained the studio stems, the individual audio layers of the track, to produce his own exclusive demo mix of As the Rush Comes. He didn't just remix it, he featured it on his 2003 compilation album Nyana, which sold 87,000 units in the United States alone. He then continued to play the track live at major festivals well into the next decade. A betrayed executive would be unlikely to feature a track so prominently on a high-selling compilation and play it for millions of fans. The situation was a calculated corporate strategy, not a personal vendetta. If the corporate business was mutually beneficial, where does the perceived animosity actually come from? The answer lies in a stylistic shift that occurred later in the 2000s. Sensing a shift in global tastes, Tiësto made a publicized decision to abandon high BPM trance, a genre defined by fast tempos and melodic synthesizers. Instead, he transitioned to the slower, festival-focused sound known as big room EDM. Contrast Tiësto's departure with this image of Armin van Buuren. Surrounded by massive lighting and explicit A State of Trance stage branding, Armin maintained a dedication to the original trance sound, anchored by the global reach of his weekly radio show. These diverging musical paths created two ideological opposites in the eyes of the public. Tiësto was framed by purists as a defector to the mainstream, while Armin became the loyal custodian of the genre. What we're looking at is a sociological phenomenon. Notice how these two timelines diverge, while the abstract lines project backward into the past. When purist fanbases feel abandoned by shifting musical landscapes, they often project their feelings of betrayal onto the artists themselves. Audiences took standard corporate history, like the formation of Armada music and the regional licensing of Motorcycle, and used it to manufacture a narrative of personal animosity to explain away a natural artistic divergence. Armin van Buuren himself has refuted the feud. When asked about his relationship with Tiësto, Armin explicitly credited him for launching his early career, stating on the record that he owes his former collaborator nothing but respect. The beef over As the Rush Comes is an industry myth. The track's actual legacy is a testament to an era when independent labels used strategic maneuvering to build the modern global dance music industry.